This video will give an overview of the SEND insurance benefits. There's a separate video with a step-by-step guide for filing claims for medical reimbursement. We'll review the SEND medical insurance plan through Cigna, the health reimbursement arrangement through EBC Flex, and the life and disability coverage. Then we'll go through the voluntary benefits, dental and supplemental life insurance. This is a list of the terms you'll hear frequently, so I'll give you definitions now so you can better understand your benefits once we start getting into detail. Individual deductible. This is the upfront, out-of-pocket amount for eligible charges that must be met by an individual before claims will be paid. Examples of this would be for services like X-rays, MRIs, and emergency room visits. Family deductible. This is the deductible set for an entire family. The plan considers all family members to have met their deductible when this amount has been met. Embedded deductible. This is also called individual deductible. This is the amount one individual can contribute towards the family deductible. That means that an individual wouldn't contribute more than the individual deductible amount towards the family deductible. If this doesn't make sense now, it'll hopefully be clearer in the next few slides. Coinsurance. This is the percentage of eligible claims that you pay after you meet your deductible. Copay. And this is different than coinsurance. It's the fixed upfront dollar amount that you pay for certain covered expenses, for instance, office visits and prescriptions. The copay amounts do not go towards your deductible or your coinsurance maximum, but they do go towards your maximum out-of-pocket. Maximum out-of-pocket. This is the total amount that you personally pay for in-network healthcare. It includes copays, coinsurance, deductibles, and fees. And this is everything that you would pay before the plan starts paying for all in-network services. Explanation of benefits. This is the statement sent by Cigna explaining how medical treatments or services were processed or paid. This can be found in your Cigna Envoy account online. These are the benefits that you'll receive using your Cigna insurance outside the United States. You'll want to refer to the Global Health 1000 chart for more detailed listing of the coverage. After you meet your deductible, most services are paid at 100%. You'll notice that an individual's deductible is $1,000, and both the couple and family deductibles are $2,000. One individual in a family will not be charged more than $1,000 for in-network deductible before Cigna starts to cover a portion of the cost. That's the embedded deductible. For example, let's say a family has 5 members. If one person in the family needed an MRI and the total cost was $2,000, $1,000 would be deductible and the remaining $1,000 would be covered 100%, because Cigna pays 100% of coinsurance after the deductible has met when you get treatment outside the United States. If a second family member had the same situation, Cigna would cover it the same way. Now the family has met their deductible and Cigna would pay 100% of coinsurance for the rest of the family for the rest of the year outside the United States. No one else has to pay towards the deductible. You'll also notice that an individual has a maximum out-of-pocket of $6,350 for the year, and the couple and family both have $8,000. That means that one person in the family won't be charged more than $6,350 for in-network medical expenses for the year. Once the individual or family has met the maximum out-of-pocket, Cigna will cover 100% of all in-network medical expenses for the rest of the year. This slide shows Cigna's in-network coverage in the United States. The deductible and out-of-pocket amounts are the same, but the coinsurance is only 80% for most medical services. One thing to note about the deductible is that it is one set amount for the whole year. Once you meet your deductible in the U.S., on the field, or a combination of both, it has been met for the year. You don't have one deductible for the field and one for the U.S. This is the out-of-network coverage while in the U.S. You'll notice that the deductible is doubled when you go out-of-network. Cigna only covers 50% of coinsurance, wellness and preventative care is not covered at all, and you don't have a maximum out-of-pocket. You have a maximum coinsurance amount of $20,000, regardless if you're an individual, couple, or family. You'll want to make sure that you check on Cigna Envoy to confirm that your provider is in-network before going to the doctor. It'll make a huge difference when it comes to coverage. Cigna has a huge network, so this usually isn't an issue, but please contact me if you can't find someone in your area that's in-network. There's a hidden cost when you go out-of-network. Cigna negotiates the price of services with providers in their network. So if Cigna has negotiated the cost of a surgery with an in-network provider at $2,000, they won't cover anything over that. So if your out-of-network provider charges $5,000 for that surgery, you would have to pay $2,000 towards your out-of-network deductible, and Cigna would not cover any portion of the remaining $3,000. You would have to pay that directly to the provider. It wouldn't count towards your maximum coinsurance for the year, so you would still be responsible for the first $20,000 in coinsurance for the year, in addition to the $3,000 that you had to pay the provider directly. It's a pretty extreme example, but it's important to know that there's definitely an impact on cost when you go out of network. Until May 2013, Send had a self-funded medical insurance plan. That plan wasn't compliant with the new Affordable Care Act regulations, so we had to select a new plan that was compliant with the ACA. One of the regulations was that companies would be heavily taxed if they offered a medical plan that had very low out-of-pocket costs. Since everyone at Send is on a nonprofit salary, there's a gap between what's affordable and what the ACA says is a proper out-of-pocket limit. To bridge that gap, Send was able to open a health reimbursement arrangement to reimburse you for medical expenses. The HRA was set up to mimic the deductible, coinsurance, and chiropractic costs that you were paying under the self-funded plan. The plan is funded by Send, so there's no deduction from your paycheck for this benefit. If you don't use the money in the account, you do not get to keep it. It'll be reset every year on January 1st. Here's where you can see the benefit of utilizing your HRA. An individual's deductible through Cigna is $1,000. After you pay the first $100, EBC Flex will reimburse you for the remaining in-network deductible, up to $900 a year. An individual could possibly be responsible for up to $5,350 in coinsurance for the year. Once you pay the first $900, EBC Flex reimburses the remaining in-network coinsurance, up to $4,450 per year. A couple would pay the first $200 and would be reimbursed up to $1,800. A family would pay the first $300 and be reimbursed up to $1,700. The embedded deductible that we discussed previously applies here too. If you have a family of 5 and one person needs an X-ray that costs $1,000, you would pay the first $100 and EBC Flex would reimburse $900. But as a family, you wouldn't pay more than a total of $300 for in-network deductible for the year. The coinsurance is not broken out like the deductible. As a family, you would be responsible for the first $1,700 in coinsurance before receiving reimbursement. It won't matter if it's one person accruing it or if it's everyone in your family. The same goes for a couple. The chiropractic reimbursement is a little different. You don't have to pay anything before receiving reimbursement. A single would be reimbursed for the first $700 in chiropractic expenses, while a couple would be reimbursed the first $1,400 and a family the first $1,800. This isn't broken out by individual. It can be used by one or all in your family. This is how you use your HRA. You would see your medical provider, and the provider bills Cigna. If you're on the field and your provider doesn't take insurance cards, you can scan your receipts and submit the claim to Cigna online. You don't have to get anything translated or converted. Just fill out the online form and attach your receipts. If you have questions on how to do that, you should reach out to Cigna directly. Since they're processing the claim, they'll need to answer your specific questions. Once Cigna processes the claim, they'll send you an EOB. If it says deductible, chiropractic, or coinsurance on the EOB, you'll submit that to EBC Flex. EBC Flex will process the claim, and you may receive reimbursement if your claim is eligible. It takes up to 2 weeks to receive reimbursement, and you want to make sure that you give them your bank account information so they can direct deposit the money. Otherwise, they'll mail you a check to your address on file, and it'll take much longer to get the reimbursement in your account. You would be responsible for paying the provider. If you stay on top of your EOBs, it's possible that you'll get the reimbursement before the bill is due. If your doctor submits the claim, they're going to wait to find out from Cigna how much Cigna covers before billing you for the remainder. The doctor gets the EOB at the same time you do. So if you turn around and submit that quickly to EBC Flex, you'll have reimbursement in your account before you have to pay your doctor. If your doctor on the field does not take insurance cards, Cigna will reimburse you directly for any covered amount. You'll want to make sure that Cigna also has your bank account information so reimbursements are direct deposited. Live checks from Cigna take longer than direct deposit, and you don't want to accidentally discard a check thinking that it's junk mail. Send has a life insurance policy for every member through Guidestone Financial Resources. The head of household is covered at $20,000, and the spouse and each dependent is covered at $10,000. Send has a self-funded short-term disability plan that pays 66.7% of your salary for the first 180 days of your disability. This percentage would be based on your most recent salary check. If you're on the field, your field salary will be used. If you're on home service, your home service salary will be used. Sen's long-term disability plan is through Guidestone Financial Resources. It pays 60% of your salary after you've been disabled for 180 days. The maximum you can receive is $7,500 a month, and it also uses your most recent salary check to calculate the disability payment. Sen has a few voluntary benefits available to you. You can enroll in supplemental life insurance for the head of household and spouse. There's no supplemental coverage for children. The limit is the current amount that's provided, $10,000 per child. You would need to complete an evidence of good health application, and it would be reviewed by the underwriters at Guidestone. You can choose between 2 global dental plans that cover you on the field and in the U.S. There are waiting periods for some services, like orthodontic and some major restorative services, so if you know that's on the horizon for you or your family, I'd recommend looking at the premiums and deciding if it would be a value for you. All premiums for the supplemental life insurance and dental are a pre-tax payroll deduction. Here are just a few reminders. Every deductible, coinsurance, and chiropractic claim must be submitted to EBC Flex for you to receive full reimbursement. And all 2016 claims must be submitted by May 31st of 2017 or you will not be reimbursed. Unfortunately, we cannot open it up for exceptions. This is a regulation set by the IRS and will lose the ability to offer the plan if we don't remain compliant. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me. If anything's happening that doesn't make sense to you, or if there's something that you think should be covered one way and isn't, and Cigna isn't giving you an answer that makes sense, please contact me. I'm here to help and want to make this as simple and easy as possible for you.